Hello, gentlemen, guys, and ladies. Welcome to my show. It's actually your show here, right? So this is the main code movement. Of course, under the chisomakahtv. And as usual, I bring you the juice about what it means to be the man that you're cut out to be and how to live your life happily and also unveil women to the men that love them. Today, I have such crazy gist. The craziest thing ever just happened, guys. And I'm going to give you every bit of that gist. But before then, I'm so excited to announce that I'm so happy because of the love, guys. Or if you're watching me for the first time, or rather the second time, because you came to my channel just about a week or so, I love you. Thank you so much. Because in the last 1 week, the incredible things that have been happening on my channel has been amazing. Just look at this. I have grown almost 100 subscribers more in just 5 days, and that's something that is such a heck, on YouTube. Like, really, I've been meaning to get to 1,000 subscribers for the longest time. I mean, this is 2 years plus, and it's been hard, but just one video brought you my way, and I'm super grateful. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I don't take it for granted at all. Okay, now to the main gist, guys. You have to stay to the end of this video to get all of the insights about what it is that this is about, because, guys, there is fire on the mountain, just that nobody's running. Just like the popular writer wrote, Asha. Have you heard the Kirk Franklin story? Yes, Kirk Franklin, the multi-award winning songwriter, gospel singer, energetic guy, all of those. I mean, if you're somebody who has followed his journey a bit, or maybe not, I'm still going to give you the gist, right? So he did a mini documentary about his life. I mean, it's the craziest thing, because I remember sometime in 2017 when he talked about the fact that he didn't grow up knowing his father, and then he had gone on this hunt trying to find out who his father was, his real dad, and he got hooked up. I've forgotten the full gist. He got hooked up to a guy who he actually thought was his father after so long, and he got the call like, this man is about to pass away and he's confirmed he's your father. I don't know what you want to do with information, but he decided that, okay, amidst all the hurt and everything he has felt, as he was in his late 40s at that time. He felt, okay, let me go make peace with this man, even if that's the only thing I can do in my lifetime to have that closure, that daddy issue closure, right? So he went and actually, saw this guy here, and remember, he documented it as well, and the whole world celebrated him for his vulnerability, for, people who can relate with his issues could as well. And that man, passed away. I was buried sometime in 2017. Guys, 6 years ago. So imagine having that kind of closure, like, okay, I didn't know my father, I grew up, all of those. Okay, then if you didn't know, back forward, this new documentary was where I understood where he was coming from. So this guy was giving birth to, of course, to a non-married mom. So he was raised by his grandmother. So he was seeing his mom once in a while, and that's how the relationship has always been. He grew up without siblings, no cousins, nothing. So he grew up a very lonely life, in his words. He grew up as a very lonely child, very, always looking for validation, looking for daddy figures, and I can imagine like how hard that could have been. And it was a love of longing for, security, vulnerability, identity, that he found music, thankfully, right? So he found music and started playing the keyboard and all of that. And of course, he has given us one of the best music of our generation yet, right? And thank God that he's still here. And of course, he's still a young man, and he's, middle age, and he has so much more to bring. But no, going back to his story, I was like, oh my God, this guy went through all of this, and he has been a celebrity for the longest time. Like, I practically grew up hearing him. I sang his songs in the choir. I grew up following his journey, and he has been to Nigeria a few times on the platform of my church. And I know how that to get Kirk Franklin to your platform is like very expensive. He has always structured this thing. He understands his craft. And I couldn't believe that behind all of that is a man who has been struggling with self-abandonment, because I had to go research. Apart from the things he said, I had to go research, like, what are the issues with men that has daddy issues. And, abandonment, self-abandonment, feeling neglected, feeling like nobody cares is one of the things that this guy has been battling with. And it was just really heartbreaking to hear. So imagine thinking that you have a closure with, okay, I finally found my father just before he passed on, and you've closed the chapter. Now, something just happened. He just got the wind from someone who attended a funeral, right? And the person said, he overheard a man saying, oh, mention his mom, right? Mention his mom as somebody he dated. So the person was like, and that man, when I looked at him or so, the man, I think you should follow up to know whether the man is your real dad. And he was like, I'm not interested in that search anymore. I've closed that chapter. And the person now like, check, because somehow you guys have something in similar. But long story short, they went for a DNA. And guess what, guys? This man's DNA test with his came out 99.9% true. Absolutely true. Just imagine having that whole psychological trauma of, oh my God. So you mean the guy I hooked up with the other time was not my real dad, and so this is my real dad. And this man is so yuppie. I love the demeanor of that man entirely. 60s, thereabouts, or early 70s, but well read. I mean, look at him here. And he showed the whole process of going to find out the man, all of the trauma he had to go through, all of the jittering and all of the things he had to go through. And oh, the greatest part was where the man broke down and actually felt, no, there's no way I could have known you were my son and I didn't come after you. Now, the twist is that his mom kept saying, that can be your father. That can be your father. And it's really heartbreaking. So this is going to strain the relationship with him and his mom, as I can tell. And of course, he's still having to go through the journey of the father. My father is here and all of that. It's integrated with his family, at his pace, I guess. And it just drew a lot of lessons that I wanted us to talk about. So guys, this guy, number one, said it himself that there's no way he knew he had the son. There's no way if he knew he couldn't have come after him. So maybe his mom is feeling like, I don't want to feel like I was associated with so many men in just in such a young age, and she's still in denial. So because she kept saying she can't, take the result, they had to go do the DNA a second time. She kept still saying it's not possible. So I don't know, guys. There's something my Igbo people say that it's only a woman that knows the father of her children. But sometimes human beings can tell themselves a lie and believe it absolutely, right? So I'm not also saying the woman is not right or wrong, but it's a lot of trauma. Kirk is 53 years old, and the relationship, this daddy issue he had absolutely affected his own parenting with his son, especially his son that he also featured in the documentary. And I'm happy that all of this happening helped him to bond again with his child, helped his child to understand his father, and on the journey, to bearing their relationship as father and son. But before then, he's also on a journey to accepting this man as his father. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. And I'm saying, do not, as a man, spray your seed everywhere. Not even all of those. Oh, let me just put the tip, guys. There are too many people. If you go on on the comment section of that documentary alone, you're going to see so many people who represent just 0.0% of, maybe 0.001% of the people who are actually in these shoes like him, who are saying, "Oh, I can imagine. I get you. This is my situation exactly." Please imagine living your life knowing that your seed is everywhere. Some you know, some you don't know. The worst is even those who know and didn't take up responsibility. I mean, how do you even sleep well at night? You know, the call to manhood is a call for responsibility. See, everybody can be born male, anybody can be born female. It is what you do with assuming your role as a man now that matter. And the truth is that your actions and inactions, they don't just affect you. They don't just affect you alone, they affect generations. They affect generations. Just imagine Kirk Franklin's sons and children trying to warm up to this new grandpa. You get? Imagine him feeling like, oh my God, maybe if I knew I shouldn't have had anything to do with that girl that time. If I knew it was going to bring me so much later on in my life. Imagine Kirk and all that he has been through, which I feel that both of his parents do not have a clue to. You can never be able to be in another person's shoes. It's painful. It's painful, you know. And all I have to say is please, sexuality is not boys' play. It's not toy. It's not to be toyed with. It's not something you do and move on. And there's a lot of men doing and moving on. But do you really move on? It tells in your name, it tells in your parenting, it tells in your health, it tells in your mental well-being. So why not keep it together? Keep it together. Keep it within one woman. Keep it within a family that can be a legacy. I dropped the link to the full documentary, so you can just go to his page and check and watch. because I thought that is something that we need to talk about. Either way, why do things happen the way they do? So, as young women and young men, the adrenaline is there pumping, the progesterone and testosterone is active. But what you do with it tells later in life. There are a lot of young women that are just like Kirk's mom, who the consequences of their actions today is probably going to make them keep denying that if they live long enough to watch all the drama unfold. And there are a lot of young men who are going to also be in the shoes of this man who is going to have their life play in front of them and wonder, oh, that's a significant dating scene thing, which is something that comes to mind why I tell young people, like teenagers, like my son and my daughters, what are you dating for? What is dating about? Why do you want to restrict yourself to just the one boy or one girl when you can explore platonically and have friends and network and learn and travel the world? Why do you want to put yourself together, or rather, as it were, trying to put yourself exclusively for one boy or one girl when you don't even have the means or the mental stability or the emotional stability to keep a home? Right? So, shouldn't dating and courting all happen when you are ready to get married, and when you think that this person seems like the person that, well, will finally end up together? So what is all this dating in your 20, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20? What is all of that period dating for? I keep asking this question, but I mean, it's open for you to answer, right? We are sexual beings, right? No denying that. And it's beautiful. If we were made to just hook up along the line, keep hooking up until finally we marry somebody who will carry all the baggage of all our hooking up, God would have made it in that way. But God said one man, one woman. No matter what anybody tells me about, oh, this, that, all that, look at it. Look at history. Look at all the people who have one parent, who were raised by just their mom or just their dad. Look at all the issues with polygamy. Look at all the issues with monogamy and cheating. Look at all the issues with polyandry. Look at all the issues everywhere. You can be the person to stop this menace, to stop this whole destiny altering situations just because of sexuality. God didn't give us sexuality to ruin us. He gave it to us to expand our scope. He gave it to us to just be all that He has created us to be. Right? So let me know your thoughts in the comment section, especially if you have gone to watch the documentary. Let's talk about it. Let me know what you think about Kirk Franklin's mom. Let me know what you think about his new dad. I keep saying new dad, like, okay, so that's his dad. Let me know what you think about his son. And he has weaved in the story of his life beautifully into his latest album called Father's Day. I mean, that's so beautiful. And I think he just released a single as well called Try. So go check it out, guys. Go check it out and let's have this discussion in the comment section, and I'll come your way again very soon. This is what we do here. Help support men who want to be a better version of themselves. Of course, help you to also understand the woman in your life. In the case of Kirk Franklin's mom, if she had a guide, if she had a better guide, if she had somebody who raised her and told her what to do, what not to do, guided her through her mistakes and all, maybe she won't have been in a place where she's in denial, even when something is pretty obvious. Or maybe DNAs are scamish now. I don't know. What do you think? Go watch it and let's talk about it later. All right. Cheers.